underground bases. One of, if not the fan favorite playstyle that's been nerfed out of the game for so long, might finally be back in 7 Days to Die 3.0. G'day legends, my name's Ringwood, and welcome back to the brand new 7 Days to Die 3.0 update, where we might finally be able to dig and live underground again. I'm in what will eventually become Ringwood Park, a base building and testing world, where for this, using the new sandbox options, I've turned off the ability for zombies to dig, so they can't just tunnel through the planet anymore to come and find you, which means I want to know, how does that work, how are they going to react to it, and if I build an underground base or a bedrock base now, how is that going to actually play? So I guess the first thing to do is start digging. It's an underground base. Digging is going to be important. I was maybe getting a little bit ahead of myself, but do you remember, if you guys have been playing for as long as I have, way back when, in like Alpha 15 even, in 7 days, nighttime was pitch black, it was terrifying, you never wanted to be caught out there if your life did depend on it actually. So what you used to do is exactly this. You dig a little hole, go down a couple of blocks, and just chuck a plug. This used to be the strat. Zombies couldn't dig and you didn't want to be outside, so you just dug a hole and waited out. Waited out the night like this. I can't even tell you how many nights I spent cowering in fear in a hole like this, praying that nothing found me. So, first test, we're going to get our classic Arlene, get a bunch of you, going to fire just any gun to get their attention, and see what happens to them. Absolutely nothing. They can't dig. They can't get to it. So this would be, I mean, it'd be a massive problem in the morning where you have to try and leave, but it's good. Zombies shouldn't have shovel heads, and they never should be able to dig the way that they could. But yeah, the old strat works again. So that's good though. That's good. That tells me that the way that I thought it was going to work is the way that it works. But now that I know the fundamental, how's it going to work with bigger, more livable, not so quite depressing bases? So not being able to dig through terrain is one thing, but I mean, how often are you really going to be plugging up the entryway to your own base with a bunch of sod? So I want to see if that applies to things like hatches and stuff as well. Like if it's an actual place block, can they actually attack that one? If I could do this properly, please. So a cheeky hatch on top of a ladder, pretty bare bones, but pretty normal. Will they attack things that I place down if they can't attack dirt? So once again, there I am in my little hole, looking reasonably okay for myself. Get a couple of Arlenes, get their attention, and to see if they can. No, so can they can they not dig down at all? I've had an immediate idea. I've had the immediate idea of how I can exploit this. Now, I know it's a setting you can turn on, so it is taking the piss a little bit, and I'm starting to understand why they added digging in the first place, but I'm immediately having ideas. Old habits definitely do seem to die hard. I just wanted to test the other hatch as well, test the steel hatch and see if that has the same effect. Get their attention. Over they come. We've got to do our due diligence to make sure that we're testing everything. It may just be, and it appears to be, just a blanket cannot swing down. The entire lower half of their attack range just doesn't exist. Or you just took a swing at zombies that were below you. So maybe not entirely blanket, but definitely not attacking any blocks. I mean, I can't pretend to be too clever. This was obviously going to be the next move. So like the digging stuff came in before some of these new blocks that have some of the more useful characteristics that we have now. So I feel like it's going to be a mishmash of some old thinking and some new block technology. But obviously scaff ladders right there. I don't think zombies can actually get through that. And with the scaffs there, oops, sorry about that, owls. They're just going to cruise over, stand on top, and have absolutely nothing they can do about it too. Like, G'day Arlene. I didn't mean it to quite work out like this, but apparently I've just built an upskirt machine, and with that I could just get like an AK and just have a field day. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is taking the genuine P155, and I get that, but listen, sometimes you gotta tick the boxes, and this is tickling my boxes. And I guess that's kind of the beauty, you know? We've been wanting the sand back in the sandbox of this game for a long time, and we've got that. So if the beauty of it is, if this is how you want to play the game, you can do that now, which is always a good thing. So what if you didn't want to be just a genuine knobhead like I am? What if you wanted to build underground and not quite take as much of a slash as I just did, how does that digging mechanic work? Like, how are they going to react if they can't dig down to me? How are they going to path down to like a dedicated fighting area if you want to move the Horde to somewhere where it's a bit more fair to fight them, I suppose. So I've built myself this little bunker down here. I'm going to build like a trench coming out to see how far away they'll run before they turn around and come back to try and come at me another way. It's not my cleanest build I've ever done, but it's going to do the job for me. So it's 13 blocks from where more or less I'm going to be standing to the U-point turn. the U-turn point. That's how the English language works. Good job, me and my tongue. Disappointing everyone yet again. So if I stand there and spawn in zombies from the other side, so they have to run past me, around the corner, and then down again, that's the first test, to see just generally how far they'll go. All right, got my zombies. I've got me downstairs. Shoot the gun, get their attention, and see... Okay. All right, bye. See you never then, I suppose. Oh, there was a snack. Okay. Wanted nothing to do with me, just wanted some snacker time. I understand. I get it. That's a little bit better. So across the grates, up and around and down. No. Keep on coming down. I mean, they're swinging at the turf, so it's not just the dirt thing. It is just like they can only attack sideways. Get down here. Get down here. All the way to them. Okay, so they will path that far away. Good. Stuff like this is immediately going to make the underground base is going to be so much better. Even if you're not doing like this kind of stuff, just shooting up at the zombies, if you want to make like a bedrock base, like you need a way in and out of that place for like vehicles and stuff. So you could build a combination like garage entry, like a big slope for your 4x4 and build your Horde base into that. And the zombies should, for what we're seeing at the moment, should go and take that ramp down rather than just tunneling through your ceiling. So it's got to make it, I mean, you could cheese it if you wanted to. That's a choice you have, I suppose, but you could actually make it a viable, proper gameplay bedrock base. So good. Rather than measuring it out every time, I've put a grid on the floor and put some signs down so I know if I'm standing here, I'm 23 blocks away from the U-turn points. Why is that so hard for me to say? I keep wanting to say U-point turn. From the U-turn point, I'm 23 blocks away, and I might even just test the max straight away rather than you know, going step by step all along. There's all the zombies. Give it a quick fire, so they have to run past where I am down here, and they're having no issues with that whatsoever. So what's the max distance going to be then? How far are they going to run before they just don't anymore? Fortunately, we don't always have to start from scratch. We can build, not that you can really call this science, I guess, but we can build upon the quasi-science that I've done in the past, where, remember like the magic block that zombies couldn't jump over? They'd run, I think it was 43 blocks away, then back again. That's what I'm thinking here. So you can see on this blue block, I've gone 49 blocks away from the U-turn point. Nailed it that time. So if I put zombies in at the same point, which should be like just around here, there we go. So both they and me are 49 blocks away from where they have to double back, and maybe their math will still stop them from doing that. Get their attention, turn on their AI, and they didn't even blink. Or one did. One's like, yeah, fucking nah, champion, see you never. Oh, but the rest of you have gone to the chimney and then back again. So I'm past, okay. We have a limit now. Somewhere between 23 and 49 is the limit. Maybe it was 43. This is actually doing my noggin in. I've been going back and forth over and over trying to find whereabouts it gives up, and it just keeps working. And then it'll randomly stop. So that seems to be the one that stopped them. But then I'll start going back through the ones that were working a second ago and they'll break again. So it's not like, see, that was working 2 seconds ago. When I was talking to you, it was still working. And then now, it's not bloody working anymore. Get rid of all of you, chuck in another wave, get her attention, and she breaks again. What? So look, they're happy. You're all good. And if I go back to that red block again that I was just at, if this, I don't think it's going to work. No, it will work. You weren't working then. What? It's the same experiment with two different results. What are you? Freaking light? Bloody zombies, man. Are they a wave? Are they a particle? Do they have an observer effect? Who bloody knows? They're just throwing up curveballs. I've kind of got to just pick a number that seems to work the most at the moment. I think it's going to be number 40. That's 40 blocks just there. So it's 40 blocks away and 40 blocks back again. So 80 blocks in total, but they don't seem to have too much of an issue until I go much, much, much further back, like all the way back to out here. What are you at? You're at 49, but I did measure it wrong. So I think you're actually 50. So 50 blocks is too much. So I'm going to say as a general rule for me, between 40 and 43 is their max distance. Little bit of margin for error, but I'm going to stick with 40. Was only, what, 11 blocks deep as well. I hadn't actually taken that into consideration. Like, maybe the vertical pathing is a portion of that. So now that I know that it's 40, is it going to react the same if I go way deeper? So if I go much, much deeper, say 40 blocks deeper, are they still going to have the same reaction? So it turns out I can't actually go 40 blocks deep because I hit Bedrock at 37. I'm all the way at Bedrock there already. So, I mean, underground bases, Bedrock bases, I wanted to test them both, so I guess I'm moving on to the Bedrock portion of this. I'm going to chuck a ladder down. I'm not going to put a hatch on top because we know that the hatches do stop them in their tracks, but just ladders all the way down and then another little corridor, and we'll see if they still path the same distance. It looks so much further than it was before, but I guess because I wasn't considering the little apartment I have in the middle, but 40 blocks from there to the U-turn point and back again, 40 blocks from this last little notch where I am standing. I've gone invisible, hold on. Yeah, there I am. 40 blocks where I'm standing up the ladder to where the zombies are. So the horizontal distance should all be the same. I can't even hear the gunshots anymore, but I am shooting, turn on their brains, and see what they do. And they're going to charge over, happily, over 40 blocks to go down the ladder and come to me at Bedrock. Okay, that's the rule that I'm going to use for all... They get a little bit stuck, but that's all right. The rule I'm going to use for all of this. If I want the zombies to come for me, I'll go 40 blocks. If I don't want them to come for me, let's say 50 blocks. That never worked. The 50 block length never ever worked. Let's say 50. Just looking at it though, if you were going to make like a Bedrock garage, if you wanted to turn the garage into your Horde base, you probably couldn't because just the slope is going to extend too far. I don't think you're going to make it within that 40 block range. You might be close, you give it a go, but I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't trust it. So a ladder, maybe a thick ladder so they don't get stuck would be a good idea. But I mean, you don't need to go to Bedrock anymore. If they can't dig, there's no point going to Bedrock. You can go a little bit shallower, save the resources, and still have the same effect. See, look at this. You've got a nice little base. You've got your new combination station as well, your workbench, your Jenny running, all the things that you would need. But I'm far enough away from the end down there that the zombies that are already up there, up the top, can't get to me. So effectively, the same as what the Bedrock bases used to be, but you don't have to go all the way down to the middle of nowhere. Just double check my findings. I've called in a couple of screamers as well. So they're going, I basically said that where I'm standing is maximum heat and drawn them into here and they can't get down here either. So it's screamer proof too. Where is my big loud shotgun? That one. Fire around just to double check it. And yeah, no, there's nothing happening at all. But then, so you're like, okay, so this is my survival base, but then it's about to be Horde nights. So I'm going to come all the way down here and that's... Yeah, there you go. And then, so when you want them to, when you want the zombies to actually go to the place that you want them to, oh, except I broke the ramp. But, I mean, they can tunnel sideways. Just because they can't dig down doesn't mean they can't dig sideways. Jeez, they're digging bloody quickly too. God, they're not fucking about. Not here to fuck any spiders, are you? Oh, gee whiz. And there you go. Super fun happy slide, like it's Mr. Burns' lamb. That works out perfectly. So then during a Horde, or I want to farm some screamers or whatever, I can come to the dedicated Horde area nice and safely. That I can have my battle area there and my base at the end down here never even has a sniff. It will be pretty fun to have like a window, kind of like this, but without like the actual bars. You can use the bars if you want to. It won't be storm protected. It'd be kind of fun to have a window there so you can see up to ground level to see if there are zombies there trying to get to you. And then if it gets too much, just go to the Horde area and fight them there. But I love being able to pick and choose. If I'm crafting, I'm safe for crafting. If I want to fight, I have the option to fight. If anything, this has actually kind of made underground bases even better than they used to be, because it does have all the modern like pathfinding stuff that they have to run by. But one of the questions I get every single time I do any sort of pathfinding stuff is, what about Horde Night? The Horde Night zombies act differently. No, at least in the entire experience up to now, no Horde Knights do not act any differently. They work on the same AI, they just always know where you are and they will target you. You can't stealth your way around it. But to double check that, let's get a Horde Kraken. They can all come over and say g'day to me. I'm currently in the crafting area, so they should just come and, oh, I'm too low a level. They should come and hang out just in these lanterns. Here we go. I gave myself some levels so that the Horde would actually happen properly, and yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine. There's drops coming through. Oh, you're actually dropping it relatively closer, which is unusual. That bloody never happens with you, but yeah. So Horde Night zombies do exactly the same thing, but I'll go down to the Horde area and just see if that changes anything. And here they come. On demand, as if we almost tested this earlier. Cruise straight on through, straight down to the chute. Well, I can wait for them at the bottom, easy as you like. That's actually way better than it's ever been. I'm gonna call it. Underground bases are better now than at any point in 7 days history. This is the best underground base alpha update there's ever been. That's so much better. I was looking at the base and realized that I hadn't built myself an entryway at all, so I've just quickly whacked on a little hatch here, because that's all that you would need. Because they can't dig down, you can have a nice easy access point right there, mate. Probably actually close the door though there, hot stuff. They may not be able to dig, but they can definitely climb into holes. And then yeah, when you're just hanging out like that, they're not gonna attack that hatch either. So even though the access point is right there, it's nice and convenient for you. But there's, I mean, they go and stand on top of it. Their pathing still wants them to dig down there, but they just can't dig. So they just sit there. Incredible, incredible. I mean, zombies shouldn't have excavators for hands. I mean, I guess this is taking a little bit the other direction, but I like this. I like that going underground has its merits now. Do those drops look different to you, by the way? That's a little more flamey than they used to be. That looks more like it's on fire rather than it's like got that nice like orange smoke. That's definitely fire smoke, not like flare smoke. That's absolutely flame. I mean, the pilots were taking the piss before by never dropping the supplies near you. Now they're sending you stuff that's actively burning. We might have underground bases back, but we still can't get a pilot that helps us. For one last little run around, I'm just going to build a little, that garage I was talking about earlier, a little garage down into the, whatever complex this calls, the central area, I guess. But this is nice. This is like a throwback to like where I started in 7 days, way back when, back in Alpha 17, building things and testing things and just seeing where things would take me. It's like the good old days. Although fortunately, some things have changed. I now have at least some facial hair, and I'm not nearly as squeaky as I used to be. I did hit puberty in my late 20s. If you are building something like this and you get really annoyed about these little like troughs around the blocks, don't forget to chuck in just the sheets, just a sheet block. That'll cover it up nicely. You're gonna go actually around the outside. Like two Trailer Park Girls, we're getting all the classics back. Woodle Park and Eminem references. We're just starting from scratch again. I actually have no idea if the 4x4 is even going to fit through this. The 4x4 is an atrociously big vehicle. I mean, look at it, I can't even bloody place it down here. An atrociously big vehicle. I might need to try and run it with the motorcycle instead, but I'll give it a go. Jeez, a 3x3 hole is still not enough. Not enough. It's too big. For the first time in my life, I can't fit. I just can't do it, Cutting. I don't have the power. Okay, that's okay. Who uses the 4x4 anyway? It's too big. It's too big to have any fun with. It's unusably big. It's so big, it's a problem. I'd much rather be a little bit smaller and be able to get in much easier and at least get the job done. But I say to myself in the mirror every morning. It's fine. So that's all good. A nice little garage. But the thing, like the critical thing with this is though, did I build that too close to my crafting area? So if I call in a horde now, are they gonna go down the garage? And that's why that 40 block measurement, or for this kind of stuff, 50, I guess, to make sure they don't come for you, is so critical. Because yeah, I built it too close. I've built it too close. So now, roughly, this is like a do what I say, not what I do. It's only 37 blocks away. 37 and 21, but remember it was 40 and 40, so not even close to the upper limit, only 37 blocks away, which means if I just bury myself in the wall out this way, get above 40 again. So I've come all the way out to here. What am I now? I'm 44 and 38. I'm far enough away. Yeah, they're going to the hatch again. They can't dig down, so that's fine. There's another flaming drop coming in. Yes, sick, great. It's gonna set fire to the marshland. That's how the bloody burn forest came to be. That's the new law. Some arrogant pilot dropped a bloody ball of fire, great balls of fire, into the forest. How un-bloody Australian of you. That's why we have bushfires every summer, because I'm muppets like you. But aside from that, they're no longer going for the door over here because I'm far enough away, just out in my little cave over here. So keep that in mind. If you're building another access point, make sure it's at least 50 blocks away. I can't think if there's anything else that I need to test with this. I've covered all the bases, all the questions that I had about it. So if you guys have any questions, chuck it in the comments down below so I can either answer it or go and test it or figure out what's going on with it. But I mean, this is just accidentally turned into a kick-ass base, actually. I didn't have any plan coming in. I was just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's stuck, and apparently everything I was flinging was pretty bloody sticky. It's actually turned out really well. I love the new blocks that can actually work well with this. I love that, like, digging zombies aren't a thing. Maybe there could be another unique zombie type that can dig, so regular zombies can't. But like special zombie types have been a thing we've wanted for so long, to give, like, you know, the whites or the construction zombie or whatever, like unique abilities to make them just not tankier zombies that do the same shit. But this is the best it's ever been. This is the best that underground bases in 7 days has ever been. You can make so much cooler stuff. You don't have to go to Bedrock if you don't want to. You can make it a little bit shallower, a little bit more convenient, a little bit easier if you just turn off the zombie digging. I like it. I like it an awful bloody lot. Maybe the demo could like self-detonate and explode the ground, and they can't dig, but they could over time tunnel, so you're not completely impervious. Who knows? Who knows? Something like that to uncheesify the absolute pizza of cheese that this could be if you wanted it to be. But hey, that's what a sandbox is for. Play how you want to play, however you have the most fun. But I am going to leave this episode here. But yeah, hit me up with your questions if you have any. We'll come back and revisit it if there's something major that needs to be looked at. But I'm pretty stoked that this is an option that we can have again. Because, man, I've missed it. I've missed underground bases and cool shit like that. But I'll have to come back and test out some more cool shit and see what's going on. And, I don't know, test some things in Woodle Park like the good old days some more in another episode. Because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. And most of all, thank you to the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on whatever. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.